Time now for the Boost Mobile Top 10 Shootout, a special moment for a racing driver. And for supercar fans, what a glorious afternoon to witness some of the very best. Drivers are out there on their own with the glare of the world watching. Car number 55, Castrol Racing, opens up his lap. And he qualified 11th in 2023, just outside the 10. So whatever happens this afternoon, it's going to be all profit in terms of getting onto the grid in the spot that he wants. Bit of oversteer on the exit of turn number 1. Paired up with James Moffat, 9th at the bend just a couple of weeks ago in the first of the Enduros. And he's one of the drivers in our field at the moment that's really clawing to hang into that top 10 as he jumps into the shadows at turn 2.
Nice braking modulation as he got the car to the right-hander. Everybody, I'm not going to talk about tyres anymore because everyone will start on a green. Brand new set of soft compound Dunlop tyres for this weekend. Everyone on new tyres for the top 10.
The first understanding of what the track condition looks like and the way in which this car is behaving is about to be upon us when he gets to second one. And he's done a 51.094 to record a very good number. So he's off to a flying start. Shadows at the top of the hill. The track condition's good. We've got 21 degrees out there at the moment and the wind's steady at 30 kilometres an hour from the west. It's been a real challenge here at Skyline as we see some air beneath the Castrol car. We see it again as it jumps across the top of the curb. 2 wheels at the dipper, 80 kilometres an hour out the other side, grabs third gear, plunges down the mountain. Enormous speed to the blind approach here from 180 k's to the left-hander at the elbow. Just a little over 85, 90 k's through there and nothing to the right side of Thomas Randle's Mustang.
Nice job. That was a really nice exit there. There was no margin against the fence as he was able to come out of Forest Elbow and was hard in the throttle pedal. A little bit of oversteer, but that's always a good sign. How does he get through here? That is so fast. I love that shot from the rear there.
Beautiful accuracy when it came to finding the ultimate width on the turn in to the chase. The braking looked good. Over the top of the mountain, a good number as well at a 32.9. This is a good lap. It's telling us the track condition is fast at the moment. Chris Stuckey can see the micro sectors. They're getting a read behind him. Matty's keeping an eye on play as well, and it's a 4.7. We're going to have a speedy afternoon, Australia.
He was actually slightly faster across the top of the hill, Neil. So he did a 32.94, just slightly faster than Randle across the top.
Therefore, it's going to be close. He only just scampered through the left-hander at the bottom of the chase there. There was not another millimetre left under brakes to get away with it. Here comes the critical final stop. This is one of the 3 locations on this racetrack where things tend to go wrong. And it has gone wrong down there. He's just gone a little wide, grabbed a brake at the last moment, and that will have hurt. He's done a 2.5.4 at the end, but the last corner, exactly as I was talking about, is a challenge.
Is basically within half a tenth of what Randle did.
It's very close, 51.177. So he's right on the money here, challenging the speed that we saw from Thomas Randle, our first runner in car number 55. Oh, that was so close. Put his signature on the wall in the right-hander, through the S's out the other side. He's playing the margins. Cam Hill on the plunge down towards Forest Elbow here. We're going to get a second reference in just a moment at Sector 2. Tell us how this lap is going to trend, and it's the best that we've seen. He was using the millimetres, wasn't he? 32.927 for him. And it's not quite cuming on the micro sectors at the moment over and above Randle. But we've still got a critical part of the racetrack to come because every millimetre is going to matter down here at the bottom of the chase. Let's listen. And the thing howling in, getting as close as he dare to that 150 board for the braking reference coming into the chase. This is going to be very, very close. The car beautifully stable on the exit. This is where we saw the moment with Nick Percat.
Ooh, similar to it. Almost locked the rears then on the way to the corner, but he made the apex okay. What's the number look like? 4.88. 1.5 tenths away from Thomas Randle. So Randle's made a couple of spots already. That was a good quality lap to commence the Boost Mobile Top 10 Shootout.
Can he put something special together here at Bathurst this afternoon?
Just locked the rears a little bit in the entry to the first corner, but he gathered it up nicely. Little steering correction, and then he had the car at the right angle, and he was able to get on the throttle very early. So nice exit out of turn 1 to run up the hill. Have a listen here. Back to second.
Got it well inside the 150 board. The sun becomes a bit of a challenge here. He actually snagged the rev limiter, getting it out of second back into third gear there. If it actually gets into the hard cut on the rev limiter, it's actually hard to drag out unless you kick the clutch pedal. Nice shot of it through the left-hander at the cutting, and it actually cranked sideways, and it did it off the bump right where you pull second to third gear. Cresting the top of the hill now, hovering around 200 kilometres an hour, and we've seen the best numbers so far at a 51.009 for Waters. Nothing to the right-hand side of the car, and it flew and bicycled over the top of McPhillamy. Gets back to the left side of the road in the run down the hill here now, and here is where he delicately bounces off that brake pedal to try and encourage the car down there as quick as he can without locking. This is looking like a very good lap.
Little bit of understeer, Neil, just at the right-hander before the dipper. Just ran a little bit wide on him before he turned it left.
Nothing to the right on the exit of the elbow. Remember the pressure drive at Tailem Bend just a few weeks ago. He ended up missing out on a victory by the tiniest of margins to Brodie Kostecki. The numbers so far, well, the cumulative of that puts him on target for position number 1 over his teammate.
And he has smashed them across the top of the hill, Neil. Smashed them.
Big numbers being shown here by Waters. We could be on for something significantly better than a 4.7. Into the final corner now. The critical final stop has to be balanced. It must pull up straight, and he's got to hit that apex target. And he's done all of those things. Nothing on the right-hand side of that car at the end of it, and it's a low 4. Cam Waters blows the roof off the joint with a 2-minute 4.2.
What a lap. Cam Waters was almost able to replicate the number. He did a 4.18 in qualifying, and he did a 4.21 just now. So there might be a chance for the rest of these competitors to get to that number that they did earlier.
Practice 1 Thursday, mistake right there, turn 2, fired that car into the wall, significantly damaged. We were concerned as to whether that would be lingering through the weekend, but he got away with it on the rev limiter in third gear on the run up towards the cutting at turn 3 then. The exit out of turn 1 was solid as well.
Yep.
There wasn't a lot of oversteer. The car looked steady for that run up Mountain Straight. Here comes the first number. We'll see whether or not this is on the money. He's chasing a 51.009, and it is on the money. He's actually moved it by another 10th. This is looking strong. Shadows are longer, it's cooling out, the wind will be dropping ever so slightly, and Mostert's got it fully pinned at McPhillamy. Nothing to the right-hand side. Have a look at the eastern horizon there as he plummets off the top of the hill.
He's been the fastest car across the top of the hill all weekend. He's so good to watch through the S's and down into this zone of the racetrack.
In 2015, catastrophe in that location when he had it absolutely maxed out. Did a lot of damage to him, hurt him, put him out of business for a long period of time. Not the case today. Now he's lost a little bit of ground relative to Waters over the top of the hill. Cam was about 0.2 of a second stronger. He's got to have a big third sector to get this together. He's chasing the 2 Tickford boys. Waters and Randle 1 and 2. Hill third at the moment. Huge commitment under brakes down here to get to the left-hander at the bottom of the chase and carry that speed. It has pulled up. It has hit its targets. There is nothing in it, nor is there on the outside of that corner. Short, sharp run down now to the final corner. He's got it nice and steady under brakes, and it's turned in with stability.
Beautiful.
Getting it to the control line isn't enough. Not quite. It's a 4.3, and a margin of 0.1 is the difference between Waters and Mostert. 3/100ths of a second is nothing but an eye blink between this fellow on screen at the moment and the fastest first sector. There was some brake locking in the background. Mostert was the quick man to sector 1. This guy is right on those target numbers, but he has got this thing dancing over the top of the hill, and those Dunlop tyres are squeaking in the background. They're protesting at the mission that they've been given at the moment. Here comes the second reference. 33 flat for him is about half a second away, so some of that brake locking we heard could have hurt.
Absolutely. So down through the S's to get it turned into the dipper, it actually just locked the wheel on him slightly, and then when he tried to get it stopped at Forest Elbow, the car was quite unbalanced over the little rise to get it turned left.
Guys and girls at Erebus have been pretty good at this one-lap caper at Bathurst. They've got 3 of the last 7 Bathurst 1000 poles. How are they shaping up now in this third and final sector here for Cooper Murray? Into the final corner. Chico are back on this car in 2025. Betty staring at the timing screen here at the moment. Whatever happens here, it's a great result in his best ever qualifying at Bathurst, and he drops it into P3, and that is a mighty performance for Cooper Murray.
That is an excellent job. To make it into the top 10 at this place is extraordinary.
Like sixth gear. That gear shift, by the way, comes at 270 odd kilometres an hour with the gearing in these cars.
It's a mega shot, isn't it, through there?
Just manages to stop it. Yeah, those brakes are protesting at that point. They're superheated to 850 degrees on the fronts at that point in the stop. And then the second hit down here with no recovery time in between. And the rear of the car just lit up slightly under brakes as well. He got away with it out the other side. And the number is a 2-minute 4.9. The last sector wasn't too bad. And he splits Cam Hill and Nick Percat. He's paired with Jaden Ojeda, another of the young drivers in the field, having the great experience of his first ever top 10 shootout at Bathurst.
And it was a great exit coming out of Hell Corner at turn 1. He got into the corner nicely. He used all of the road. The right-hand rear wheel was right against the grass, and he was able to get out of there with almost no wheel spin. Great momentum through turn 2, and nice momentum in the middle of the cutting.
Trying to gather data from afar in a commentary box, but that sounded like it was on the hard cut longer than we'd heard in the background for any of the previous runners on the run up towards the cutting, and in the numbers suggest it's a very strong start for Ryan Wood. How's the margin on the right-hand side of the car? 50.884 for him in the opening sector of this racetrack. He's already had a pole and a victory so far this championship season. He's been on the podium 4 times. He was mega strong in Western Australia. He's got it all going on here at Bathurst at the moment as he hops over that curve and plunges off the top of the mountain.
This car looks really good. He made the grass a little bit off the back of McPhillamy Park, and I'm hoping it didn't cost him. We'll tell you that story right now. It's just slightly down on Cam Waters across the top, and I reckon that little breath of dust on the exit curve at McPhillamy may have cost him. But the number, the cumulative number, is right there with Waters, Neil. There's nothing in it.
Critical stop down the bottom of the hill here for Ryan Wood, who's threatening to get right up in amongst it here. His teammate's currently sitting in position 2 on a 4-3. Nice job in and out of the chase. So he's lost a tiny little bit of time over the top of the hill by comparison to Waters. Remember, he made a mistake in the shootout at the bend. He's not made one today. He's learned from that little error, and he creeps it up to the line for position number 3 with a 2-minute 4.4 for Ryan.
Good job, mate. Good job. P3, just on in behind Chaz.
He's on the gas, 22 years of age from the Gold Coast. He did a 2-minute 4.03 to get up and get into this. He had a little correction going into turn 1. He chased it another one. In fact, the thing got away from him big time. Now, he missed out on the victory here last year by 1.3 seconds after the most intense of motor races. That might have been a very telling moment for him right there at turn 1.
Didn't see it from the outside. It's hard to tell from the inside there just how much oversteer he had and what it did in terms of costing him time. But yes, it didn't start the lap as well as he would have liked. But he's made it out of there. There's not a millimetre to the right-hand wall before the kick at the cutting. He always drives the car really nicely on the exits. He straightens the car up and he minimises the oversteer on the slide. Uses all of the road there and up and over the top. And what's the number? It's only a little bit away. It's 2/10 off the fastest we've seen. But he'll make it up because down the hill he's been super fast.
He is punishing that Camaro over the top of the hill. It was bottomed out at the metal grade. It's bringing up the dust on the exit of McPhillamy. 16 times he's been on the podium this year. He's got the thing dancing in the rear. In fact, it's somewhat out of control through the S's. He rags the Camaro out the other side from 2nd to 3rd gear. Feeney in pursuit of a Bathurst pole. Feeds at 2nd gear. He has to turn it in early there because of the speed that he carried over the top of the hill. What an extraordinary season it's been. He's our championship leader. He makes a little tweak to the brake bias now. The number for him over the top was a 32.8, and the best that we've seen in the sector is Waters at a 32.5. This may not be enough. It's got to be something big at the bottom of the racetrack.
Absolutely. He's got to be massively deep on the brakes down here. He was out of control from Skyline down to the dipper then. He was absolutely maxed out. That heavy tailwind over Skyline has played a role in this. He is absolutely 110% in this car at the moment. What's it do for him? He comes across the stripe, and it's a 4.59. He's in P4. That was an overcommitted lap there by Brock Feeney. He tried so hard then.
Can he do something about Cam Waters, who's done a 2-minute 4.2? The margin between Waters and Mostert is only 0.1 of a second. Is this guy going to be a spoiler? Turn 1.
Gets it into the corner really nicely. Had a little bit of understeer in the middle of turn 1, but he was able to keep the rolling speed up. That's what he's very good at. You'll watch him in the middle of the corner, and his rolling speed, his momentum is extraordinary. That's one of the real keys to his technique as one of the fastest racing drivers in the land.
Using third gear at turn 2.
Same there. Same there, Neil. He kept the rolling speed. He just absolutely rolled it around. Nicely done.
Great job out of the cutting. Car looks nice and stable. So here's where we get our first reference as he gets to the peak of this hill. The number that he is chasing is a 50.8, and he's done it so far. 50.847. That is fast. So he's up on Waters to the first split. Nice over the top of the hill at McPhillamy. The lap is looking crisp and clean. He had a little correction there. It actually drifted a little bit wide, caught some more curb. That may have been slightly costly. Out the other side here, he's grabbed third gear very early down the hill. Feeds at second gear early to help try and pull it up. Nicely on target. The apex of the elbow. 32.6 for him. He's 1/10 of a way from Waters at the top of the hill. This is going to be so close. The target number is a 2-minute 4.2. If he can make it 3 poles in a row at Bathurst, he joins the elite. Brock did it. Moffat did it. He would join the illustrious names of the past. Get to the bottom of the chase. He's got that thing stopped. It's maximum attack. Second gear out the other side. On the gear shift, it looks stable. Brodie's got to throw absolutely everything at this in the final corner. They dare not blink in the respective garages. Last corner now. Car number 38 comes up to greet the line. And Brodie Kostecki takes up Bathurst pole. 2 minutes 4.04. Well done, Brodie.
That is a mega lap. Absolute mega lap. Gaps the field by over 1/10.5.
Wow. That was a supreme performance.